Welcome to the AENC podcast. And now your host, Rich Fanoff.
Good afternoon. This is Rich Fanoff, CEO and Executive Director of AENC. Today, it is a pleasure to have with me on the podcast Susan Nelson. Susan has been the board president of AENC since September 1st. Susan, welcome to the podcast today.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Great. Well, we'll jump right in. Susan, you've shared a lot with the board of directors and a membership about some of the things that are important to you to accomplish during your presidency. What would you say are some of the key initiatives that you're focusing on during your time as president?
Well, first, I guess I feel lucky that my term as president is this year rather than the last couple of years, since we have experienced some transition. And so we've been more occupied with tactical issues and decisions. And so I feel like it's kind of a luxury to be able to focus on things that are more for the good of the organization in the long run. Mm-hmm. So some of those things that I had laid out in my speech that I wanted to focus on were, first, we want to start a futures commission, which is letting us start looking 2, 3, 5, 10 years out. Joe Stewart and Lisa Ward will be chairing that commission, and they'll look ahead and do focus groups and other ways to try to get people's opinions, and we'll present their findings in time for the next year's annual meeting. So that's the first thing. Then also, again, with the luxury of being able to focus on other things, looking at the AENC brand. So many exciting changes have occurred within AENC, and I'd like our brand to reflect this. This work will include looking at the logo, the website, and even the mission statement. And I'd like for us to find and use our brand voice, which we have a powerful voice we can use. Also, good works. AENC has a large group of people who gather for a common purpose, and let's use our power for good. And a focus near and dear to my heart is our furry friends, and so during my time, I'd like to focus on charities that have to do with animal welfare, and we started that off very well at the first meeting where you had invited some local shelter to come and participate and bring puppies and a kitten in, and that was a big hit. I think all the members enjoyed the time with the animals during the meeting, but they also raised money and hopefully found a home or two for one of those critters. So that was exciting. So again, using our power for good. And then building the bench. I want to make sure we're always thinking about future leaders. And so getting new people involved is something that I really care about and want to focus on. And then finally, continuing education. That's always been a passion for me, and it's important that we keep our learning standards high and try to improve our profession through education and certifications. We restarted the CAE study group, and basically that's been going on now for a couple of months where we've had conversations about it, and that'll start in earnest soon, where people that want to take the CAE will be able to meet with leaders who already have the CAE and ask for guidance and advice, and also talk about the subject matter at hand. So those are lofty goals, and I know that they are, but I think that we can achieve a lot if we work together.
Great. Those are definitely some great goals, and the staff and I know the membership are excited about the direction initiative, so thank you for sharing that. What would you say, Susan, are a few of the items that you've identified as a board member for several years, also serving as president-elect, and in particular in the past 45 days that you've been president, what are some of the things you've identified as being areas that AENC could focus on today that would help make us a better organization?
One of the things that I've cared about for several years, I don't know whether it's my meeting planning days or whether it's just because it's such a need, but the programming of the organization. We have tried lots of different things over the 10 years that I've been involved, or 9 years, and some of them have worked, some of them have not worked. One of the things that you and I have talked about that you're developing, which is a great idea that you all had, you and Jovita, is a content strategy for programming. The association world has a large body of knowledge, and that knowledge goes into the certifications, which are the Certified Association Executive, and also now, for us, the Certified Meeting Professional. So each of those certifications has domains and topics that they cover. So our programming is going to be, as you know, because this was your idea, geared towards the content strategy will be geared towards the topics that fit the domains. So we'll be giving the members exactly what they need to stay current and also to meet their mission of trying to get certifications and keep up with the profession that way.
Excellent. And we are very, very excited as a staff about, Susan, your passion for education. And, hopefully through mapping our programs towards the domains for CE will help us get better and better. But we really appreciate your passion for education, and that certainly does motivate and drives us. So if you look to the future, and you mentioned a Futures Commission a few minutes ago, if you look to the future and say, okay, in 5 years or 10 or 15 years, AENC is going to look like this. What is it? What is your vision for how we will look in 5, 10, or 15, or 20 years down the road?
Well, of course, I'm counting on the Futures Commission to give some good guidance to that.
Sure.
So, because really, excuse me, how I'd like us to look is strong, self-reliant, member-focused, nimble as well. I think being nimble and being able to adjust to the times is critical. And continuing to meet the members' needs. And I think my focus on branding would tie into that, because I guess in 5 to 10 years, I want the AENC brand to be known as the resource for the association management field in North Carolina.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, once again, Susan, we appreciate so much your leadership, what you've brought to AENC, and your passion for not only education and our members, but for the entire organization. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your time today, coming in and chatting with us, and for sharing your message with our membership.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Great. Well, have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks. You too.
We hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. Special thanks to Red Wolf Broadcasting for supporting our podcast. If you want to learn more about podcasting for your organization or have educational topics to share with AENC members, please give AENC a call today at 919-848-8255 or visit aencnet.org.